What defines us? It's mostly what we've gathered about us. What do we know about each other? It's mostly what we've gathered about us again. What do we know about our world? Again, mostly what we've gathered in terms of information. Almost 90% of the information that we gather during our life trajectory is information about us as the human body, us as the human consciousness, about everything that we can see with our five senses. It is simply information. As far as we are concerned and how we behave in our lives, again, it's based on information that has been gathered and stored away in a memory bank, which we call who we are, until you get an awakening. When you experience a spiritual awakening, what happens? Your spiritual awakening, what is the very first thing that your spiritual awakening does? It literally pushes out all of the information that you have gathered about yourself through your body consciousness. Through your body consciousness means through your body's intelligence, through your body's mind, through whatever experiences you had. Those experiences then came and conquered, right? To the extent that we decided, or rather we didn't actually decide, but we didn't know that we had a choice at that time, is that whatever we were imprinted with, whatever conditioning there is, whatever we've taken on as an experience, turns into a thought, it's a memory, and then it turns into a belief system, it then turns into a vibration, which then turns into a frequency, right? So all of that starts to define who we are until one day we are hit by an awakening, or we are hit by something else that wants more, right? And realizes that no, this can't be it. And usually it happens when we want to experience sudden changes, or we want to experience changes in our lives when we've maybe experienced sudden changes. So changes that are huge changes, so huge that you have no choice but to look into the possibility of something else. Now, up until then, all this information that we've gathered is what was driving us, right? Because we thought that we are this information. Now we know we're not. What happens with artificial intelligence and everything that is happening right now? Are we in the age of AI, or are we in the age of awakening, right? Thanks to artificial intelligence and thanks to all of the information that we gathered, right, about the 3D consciousness can then be used in artificial intelligence to produce all the answers, write books, create essays. And at some point, education systems will become redundant. Schools will become redundant. Nobody will need to go to school because you've got the answers. You've got AI, right? Now, if that happens, what's going to happen to our information gathering? It's going to be limited. What are we going to do when we're not gathering information? What are we going to do when we don't think we need to go out there and learn something? What's going to happen, right? So at that moment, when the information gathering and basing ourselves on information diminishes, that is when we start to awaken to another part of our consciousness and into the possibility that, hang on, I'm not just this person. So who am I when there's no information to take in or to give out? Who are we without the information that we have gathered, which has turned into our experiences, belief systems, thoughts, right? Which so far defined us. What are we going to do when there is no such information gathering, when there is no more learning? Because in fact, we are not, or we never were learning. You were merely gathering labels to what already exists. So if you see a child, a toddler, or somebody, a little child who's now learning to speak, learning to identify things, They will experience an insect, they'll experience a flower, they will already bear witness to it and experience it without knowing it. That is us going back into that childlike awe and wonder and like, wow, what is this, right? So we are retracing our steps back with this beautiful age that we are in, and as I call it, the most advanced stage of spiritual awakening is dawning upon us, because not only do we have so many forerunners of already awakened people out there, right? We have so many in transition, and now without that pressure of labeling, without the pressure of let's gather all this information, let's get this degree, let's get that degree, suddenly no certification necessary, no accreditation necessary. The only thing that's going to now be necessary is for us to wake up, because when we don't wake up, we will literally shut down when artificial intelligence starts to take over everything. Look after yourselves, embrace your awakening, and know that you are in the most potent period there has been in human evolution right now. What you're experiencing right now in the world is absolute mass awakenings, mass enlightenment, liberation, whatever you want to call it. But we are literally embracing, all of us are embracing that pure consciousness as a very real, tangible thing, accessible to all of us, no matter what. Take care, look after yourself.